Hi, Cindy here with Create Your Own Luck in Love, and welcome to my live. I'm just going to turn on Instagram here really quick, you guys. So give me 1 second. Let me know if you're here live or you're watching the replay. I just want to know. And I really want to know, how's the weather where you're at? How is the darn weather? Because it's raining here. It's the first couple days of spring, and all over the country, at least in the United States, the weather's kind of crazy. So, okay, starting live. Thank you guys for bearing with me on this stuff here. Live from my dining room. Awesome. Happy Thursday. So this live is a live that I actually did on Sunday, but nobody could hear me. So I'm back and I'm doing it live again. So what we're going to be talking about today, and this is a really hot and important topic. So hi everybody in Instagram world, is we're going to be talking about relationship habits that some people think of as toxic or damaging that are actually really healthy. So the first habit that I want to discuss, and this one comes up a lot with the women that my clients that I work with, and women in general, because as women, we tend to be people pleasers by nature. So one of the things that shows up is the not responding right away. So not being, on top of a message or a voicemail that pops up if you hear from the person, the object of your desire. So if you're dating someone special or you're in a relationship. And, a lot of women, and a lot of this tends to come from attachment styles, is they might get some anxiousness around not responding right away because there's a thought and belief in our heads that says, oh, I need to respond to this person right away. But let me ask you a question. Do you respond back to your girlfriends always right away? Or are you 100% available for your girlfriends in your life 100% of the time? Or how do you prioritize things, right? So this is really important to understand, because if you're someone that answers back immediately when it comes to, when it comes to a text message from that object of your desire, then chances are there are some other things in your life that you're letting go of in the moment. Perhaps it could be work, perhaps it could be other things, and you probably do a lot in your day. So you're falling into bed at night exhausted because you're responding back immediately to everyone. Maybe you do this to everyone in your life. I do not. But the reason why is because you want to look at priorities, right? So what am I doing right now? Does that hold a priority to me? Yes. Maybe Brandon. Hey, Brandon, maybe you're training with a client. You're not going to drop that training to respond right away to your girlfriend. I mean, unless the house is on fire or something really drastic is happening, you're not going to do that. And what that shows is an honoring of yourself. And this gets into some other things that I'm going to talk about around this, is teaching people how to treat us. So if we're somebody that responds right away, it actually sets up an expectation. And you might be saying, well, I work in corporate and I have people that say, well, did you check that message? Did you get back to this person right away? And maybe you didn't. And that is quite all right. It's about you setting the stage for the expectation. Oh yeah, I saw that message that did come across, and I'll be getting to that later today, but thanks for the reminder. You set the stage. And I say, as a general rule, as you're getting to know someone, especially when it comes to male and female relationships, men are hunters by nature, ladies. So not responding right away actually evokes him to want to chase you more, want to hunt you more. It creates what I call tension. So that's number one. And if you are that way within your relationship, and maybe sometimes if you're meeting and you respond right away, it's using your own using your common sense around that piece. So let me know if you have any questions around that. So not responding right away is the first one. There's a lot of these, but I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to keep it to about the top three that I find to be really important. So the second one is about being honest. Yeah, that communication, that honest communication. And I work with a lot of women, and in my experience with them, they can get really afraid to share something that's on their heart, on their mind, about the relationship, or something that could be happening within the relationship. Why? Because they feel like, oh, well, maybe he won't like me anymore. Maybe he'll walk away if I really share about this. Well, if he does, then he wasn't really meant to be yours in the first place, right? And a lot of this is about your execution. If you're speaking honestly and transparently from your heart and really understanding why you're sharing something, and if the why is to improve your relationship and improve your connection, then how can it really go wrong, right? And if you're with someone that's fairly reasonable, and I teach a lot about communication with my VIP intensive clients, my Love VIP clients, because this is the cornerstone of really creating the kind of bond that you want when it comes to partnership. So being honest and having a conversation that is short, to the point, and expressing where you're at around something. Maybe it's as simple as you want to just spend a little bit more time together. Honesty and transparency. Maybe he's thinking the same thing, but he feels like you're really busy and doesn't know how to do that. Sometimes men need to be hit over the head with with a baseball bat, not really, but they don't always know, so they want a signal from you. And letting them know that it would make you happy if you saw each other one more evening per week, or whatever it is. Maybe you are in a long-term relationship, or you've been married for a long time, and setting up that date night is really important. And if you have young children, or you've got something else going on there, then you can set up your date night a little bit different than what the traditional date night is. Maybe it's putting your kids to bed and having a romantic evening, just you two, and making it really special. I know a couple that when their kids were young, they used to, on Saturday nights, she loved to cook, so she would cook a great meal for them, and they loved music, so they would turn on the music, they would dance and have really a great evening together after the children went to bed. So, so being honest, right? And open about what it is you want, what you want to see happen. And sometimes it's getting really clear with ourselves what might be coming up for you around, well, what do I want in this relationship? What might be missing for me? Or maybe he shows up 15 minutes late all the time and it really annoys you. And there's a way to approach it to where it doesn't become an area of strife. It becomes a, communication, honesty, and it sets you both up to win and have gratitude for one another within your partnership. So there's that. And there's all kinds of other things when it comes to honesty. Maybe you're wanting the relationship to go to another level. And it's being really honest about where you're at, what you're looking for, and checking in to make sure the other person is on the same page. So there's that piece. And I'm going to lump this one together. So this, the other one is about need. So I heard this recently. Somebody said, "Oh, I need you." And I thought, you do not need me. You might want to share something with me, but you don't need me. So a need actually means codependency. At the end of the day, it's, you don't need another person to make you happy. Might they enhance your life? Yes. You don't need another person to give you advice. You don't, because ultimately we're our own human beings and we're going to make our own choices. And when we feel like we, oh, I need you, depending on the context that's in, I need you to change the light bulb because you're so much taller than me. And, that's a different context than, I need, you complete me, right? Like the Jerry Maguire movie. That line is like nails on a chalkboard. Although it's cute and it's sweet, another person doesn't complete us. We are a whole package. That other person adds an extra piece of magic. I call it icing on the cake with my clients. And so that need conversation can become enmeshment. So being mindful of that. And a lot of people feel like they need that other person to really be able to be the person that they are in this world and in life, which is not true. They can enhance your life a lot. It's just, it doesn't fully complete you. So the third and final one, and this one goes hand in hand, is self-love is not selfish. And a lot of selfish people, and this may cause a little bit of, this may cause a little bit of controversy because a lot of selfish people mistake being someone that is just practicing self-love. There's a difference between selfishness and self-love. Selfishness is I want, I'm getting, I'm doing, and it's all about me.com. I do like to say it's all about me.com, but it's not, right? So you can only love a person. Hear me out here. You can only love a person to the extent that you're willing to love yourself. I want you to think for a minute, how do you speak to yourself? What are the things that you say? I think a lot of people can be pretty cruel. or not always speak to themselves nicely, or aren't fully supportive of ourselves. If, gosh, I missed that goal. Gosh, I'm not doing this right? Or, I mean, there's so many ways. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not young enough. Who's going to love me if they really know me? And I've got a newsflash for you. People will love you anyway, no matter what you say about yourself. But if you can make a practice to talk to yourself in a way that other people speak to you, or you speak to the people that you love, right? Your children, your spouse, and being mindful, maybe you don't always speak to your friends and family that way. Maybe there is a taking for granted that happens. So self-love is not selfish. So self-care, self-confidence, there's about 4 S's here. Self-assuredness, there's one more, and I'll come back to you guys about it. There's the 4 S's to be connected to. So if you're taking care of yourself, what does that look like? Maybe that looks like you doing your meditation and your yoga practice in the morning. Maybe it looks like going to the gym every day. I don't know, but there is a self-care that gets to happen. A putting the oxygen mask on your face first before everyone else. Women are famous for not doing this, or saying they're doing it, but they don't. And then what happens is there's a resentment that starts to happen because they're not getting recognized for the things they are doing. Maybe that's cooking the dinners, making the kids lunch, or even taking extra care, doing too much in a relationship or in your dating life, and you're not getting recognized. Doing a lot is very masculine, and men don't recognize you anymore for that. In fact, what can happen if you're living together, or you're in a situation where you're living together, maybe you have children, even if you don't, and you're doing too much, it neutralizes the attraction, and the man starts to fall into, and women can do this too if it's the opposite. The man starts to fall into being more childlike, and you start to feel like a mother. How many women out there felt like a mother to their husband or in their relationship? There's a reason for that. It's because you're showing up as the caretaker. So being really conscious of what that looks like, making each other's lives easier is great. But if you're, maybe your partner takes, travels a little bit for work, and, he had a day trip a couple hours away. So you packed him a healthy lunch because you had some extra time and you care, right? That's different than making his every meal and double checking to make sure he ate it, right? It's a different dynamic. Also, having boundaries around what you're doing in the home. Maybe you both work, so it's not about you cooking, cleaning, working, taking care of the children, and taking care of your partner. What happens is, again, there's that resentment. So self-care and setting the stage for how other people treat you and what you expect comes into play here. And it can shift in relationships as time goes on, but you can easily shift that back and saying, you know what, because as women, we're nurturers. We want to take care of people. It's in our DNA. So it's natural for us wanting to go into that and feeling like that's the right way to create a healthy synergy, when actually it's you are you, I am me, and we come together and we have agreements around things. Oh, I'm cooking dinner tonight. You clean up the dishes. I don't cook, by the way. So, you know, people are like, how do you eat? I have meal delivery. But, and sometimes I cook, but it's not really about me, but you find systems that work. You find things that are overall going to help you guys to create a deeper connection together. Because in relationship, especially men, they get inspired when their partner is living their own life too independent of them. They get inspired when their partner is living their own life independent of them. It's part of what he fell for you in the first place. It's part of what he really likes about you is you having close relationships and connections, not just, you know, when you're, you know, 411 in your time of need, or when, you know, whatever. But if you give everything up for a relationship and you set a lot of other things on the back burner, what it does is it creates that enmeshment, which can also be called codependency, and an unhealthy connection, right? So not responding right away, really taking care of yourself to create that healthy synergy will, in fact, support you for a long-term connection and continuing to create that. So I hope this has been helpful today. And I thank you all again for showing up. Let me know if you like the content, if there's anything you really want to learn about. I am committed to doing lives 3 times a week around relationships, understanding each other, and really creating the type of relationship and love life that you feel so excited about, and it energizes you every single day. So sending lots of love from San Diego on this rainy Thursday, and have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye. Bye, Facebook.